Now, ever since the ratings disaster known as With Love Meghan, they are already moving forward with a season 2 of the show. Now, not to get things mixed up here, but the main reason why they are spinning it to be called a season 2 is that they did in fact have an overabundance of footage for season 1, and also a series of deleted scenes, and also additional footage that is planned to be filmed by this June. Combine that all together, and Meghan Markle is spinning that to become season 2 by this fall. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, there's been a lot of drama going on between Meghan Markle, the Netflix board of directors, since there's a lot of division over there. We have some board members that are in support of Meghan Markle, while other board members are just very tired and exhausted of Meghan Markle's presence over at Netflix HQ. But that's beyond everything that we have to discuss today, because what's interesting about all of this has a lot more to do with celebrity cameos and also celebrity issues of course, pertaining to Meghan Markle. Now, this is where it really begins to erupt. Now, one thing about this series in particular is the fact that they are moving forward with actually shooting additional footage for season 2. Now, again, like I said earlier in the past video, it's technically not a season 2 because they filmed everything at once. They had so much footage to the point that it actually added up to 16 whole episodes, and they're splitting it into 2 at one point. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with Meghan Markle and what she actually recently did to Taylor Swift, and what Taylor Swift did in return to Meghan Markle in a recent series of drama moments between this show by Netflix and everything else going on with the Netflix board of directors. Let's discuss. Now, specifically, what's interesting about this is that with Love Meghan and with Meghan Markle's Netflix series expanding to a second season by using a combination of extra footage from season 1 and additional footage to be shot by this June, the middle of June to be exact, one massive development that is now active involves a recent grudge that sparked between both Meghan Markle and Taylor Swift. Now, a crucial update to this new piece of bombshell news revolving around Taylor Swift humiliating Markle in a very unexpected way. It turns out that the plan by both Markle and Netflix for extra filming that is set to begin by this June will specifically be shot to incorporate famous actors, singers, and even politicians to join her series as surprise cameos. Now, shockingly, Meghan Markle and her team, which also consists of her agent and manager, made a desperate and swift move, no pun intended, to request Meghan Markle to become a part of her series, to actually request Taylor Swift to become a part of her show, to actually provide some cooking skills on the show for season 2. Now, after Taylor already rejected to go on Meghan's podcast some time ago before in the past, that created some issues between the two. However, Meghan was reportedly furious after Taylor Swift reached out to Meghan Markle's team and herself even, almost immediately refusing to actually go on season 2, where Taylor specifically refused to become a part of Meghan's show. Now, Taylor's manager specifically informed the Netflix executives that Taylor did not want to become a part of any project that is already perceived as controversial by the general public, and how she didn't want to associate herself with Meghan Markle on camera. Now, Taylor specifically demanded her team to inform Netflix and Markle that she wanted nothing to do with being inauthentic and or associating with a series that is already universally rejected. Markle was reportedly deeply offended by what she was informed about from Taylor and her team, and even provided a second round of negotiations that she would even provide Taylor to drop some exclusive news on her series With Love Meghan Season 2. Taylor, including her team, still refused to go on the show for filming scenes in June after Meghan desperately attempted to negotiate with Taylor. Now, Meghan and some of the board members at Netflix that supported Meghan, who also really wanted Taylor Swift on board for the show, were also put into a scrambled state where they are now trying to get another singer to become a part of With Love Meghan Season 2. Now, guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing. It really does seem like Meghan Markle is very stubborn, right? I think that's a very good word to kind of describe her as, because she's very stubborn, because she never learned the first time when Taylor Swift rejected to go on her podcast, rejected to even speak with her publicly and to the general public, did not want to associate with Meghan Markle, And that was basically the beginning of the internal feud, the internal grudge between these two, actors or singers, personalities, whatever you want to label them as, generally speaking here. When you have Taylor Swift and when you have Meghan Markle, these two personalities that did not want to, or one side did not want to associate herself with Meghan Markle, you would think that Meghan Markle would have learned the first time, right? But she didn't. And she tried to either A, patch things up, or B, just is outright stubborn and really doesn't get a clue, doesn't get the memo, that someone like Taylor Swift doesn't want anything to do with Meghan Markle. Now look, I am no supporter of Taylor Swift, alright? I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but I'll give her this. I'll give credit where credit is due. At the very least, she has some logic. She has some sense of what is right. And that sense of what, right is by rejecting Meghan Markle, by really just shooting down Meghan Markle's offers and shooting down any kind of negotiations available there. But this is where it gets interesting, is that it turns out that there were concepts already created for a scene featuring Taylor Swift in With Love Meghan Season 2 that were made even before reaching out to Swift. Meghan in turn informed the Netflix executives that she believed that by getting Taylor Swift on their show, it would drastically improve ratings for the series, and that they are going to continue to try and negotiate again with something new to Taylor Swift, with a third round of negotiations to get her to shoot a major cameo scene by this June that is aimed to take place in California, specifically at Zuma Beach in Malibu. The plan was to have Taylor sing a song at a barbecue event to Meghan's friends, teenagers, on film. So if that doesn't sound cringeworthy enough, you can only imagine what it would have been like to have Taylor Swift on stage singing one of her popular songs to Meghan Markle's friends' teenage children. Now, that just really kind of gives you a wake-up call there about how willing Meghan Markle is to go to really kind of do some of the most illogical things out there, some of the most, nonsense things out there for her series that I think would have only made things worse. I don't really see how this would have improved any kind of ratings, but the fact that she wants to continue to negotiate, she wants to do a third round of negotiations to get Taylor Swift on her series for With Love Meghan Season 2 by this summer is utterly ridiculous. She doesn't seem to get a clue at all, and I know I've said this once and I'll say it again, Meghan Markle continues to lose her marbles. It's just a given fact. Now again, about the show for Season 2, obviously they are trying to spin it. They will continue to try and spin it that they always had a Season 2 planned. Basically what they are doing, they're just using extra footage, and now they're shooting some additional footage to actually lengthen each episode to kind of make it similar to the 8 episodes for the first one. Interestingly enough, they are still going to get politicians on there. They're going to get, famous actors and actresses on there, other singers. Gavin Newsom, we already talked about him. He's going to be one of the politicians that will be going on one of the episodes. They have been in the talks to get him on board, specifically for episode 3 of season 2. We'll have a lot more to talk about that. I think that's going to really take a bite out of their ratings. That's going to definitely shift a lot of people away from Netflix, that's for certain. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.